Shalom, everyone. Are you election ready? This is the question you ask yourself. Are you election ready? What is this? What is this election ready? Am I talking about American elections, presidential election? No, we're talking Yahuah's election here. This is an election like no other election. And it's not, this election is ran by Yahuah himself. And you will get an understanding of this election. The first scripture is Isaiah 45:4. And it says, "For Jacob, my servant's sake, and Yasharal, my elect." We understand Yasharal is his elect. Many people do not understand this elect. They have no idea what this elect is. And it's because of the doctrine that we've got in Christianity. He says, "And I have called you by your name. I have named you, though you have not known me." So he called this election by name. And of course, this election, these elect ones didn't even know him, but yet he still loved them. Isaiah 65:9, he says, "I will bring forth the descendants of Jacob, and from Judah an heir of my mountains. My elect shall inherit it." This is his word. Remember the last message, his word is bond. When he speak a thing, it comes to pass, whether you are a part of it or not. Anyone that heard that video, you understand what I'm saying. My elect shall inherit it. This is what he's saying. "And my servant shall dwell there." Yes, he's saying his servant shall dwell there. You know, many people, their hearts and their minds, they don't even consider his Kadosh mountains. They don't even consider his Kadosh land. They don't even consider his covenant. They don't consider what's on his heart and mind for his elect ones, his election. Matthew 24:24. This is one of the reasons why. It says, "For false Mashiachs and false prophets will rise and show great signs and wonders to deceive, if possible, even the elect." So we know the elect, many of the elect were deceived, but we're coming out of this deception. You know, it's because of him that we are coming out of deception in mass numbers. And there's something going on in this awakening now that's really, he's shaking up this earth with this awakening. And it will be no excuse for anyone, and anyone that missed this election, missed this awakening, it will be shame. Shame. When I say miss the awakening, that means you saw it, you heard it, and you ignored it. It's almost like hearing his word when he said, "Come out of her." You heard it, but you disobeyed. You didn't believe, and you will be found by yourself and on your own. That's when the scripture will come to pass. He said, "They will look to me to deliver them, and there shall be no delivery." This is coming. I see it coming. The people going to be shouting. They're going to be crying out to him to deliver them, and he will not deliver them because of what's in the law. You understand this now. This is Acts 5:29. You know, we're deceived because we're listening to men. And this is, I'm bringing out the second part. We should listen. We should obey Yahuah rather than man. It's that simple. We should obey Yahuah rather than man. Do not obey me. Who am I that you should obey me? Who is any man that you should obey them when they tell you you should not do this and you should not do that? Do this, do that, do that. Who is this person? I will tell you, I will always tell you to follow him. Do not follow me. The moment I tell you to follow me, you should not. This is when you should not listen, because this is not the Most High's word for you to follow me. That's not his word. Luke 18:7. It says, "Shall Yahuah not avenge his elect, who cry out day and night to him, though he bears long with them. So we sing here, remember, cry out, how to cry out to Yahuah. Remember this message. And here we see the elect crying out to him day and night. This is going on right now. We are crying out to him. We got his attention. He is doing things that our people have no idea. I'm literally scratching my head. You haven't tapped into his power yet? Why have you not tapped into his power yet? His power is right here, and we are not tapping into it. I cannot understand this. And you cannot listen to man when man telling you something against his word. You must follow his word, follow his voice. You do what he say do, he got you. He got you. But the problem is many of our people are confused, stuck in Babylon, in captivity. They're confused because it's the land of confusion, and you can't see your way out. You can't see clearly. You cannot see yourself. You can't see clearly because of the cloudiness. You must come out of her, then you will be able to see. Then he will work his might, his strong arm with you. Okay, this is Baruch 4:32. Miserable are the cities. Miserable are the cities which the children serve, which the election have served. Miserable is she that received that son. Who received us? The daughter of Babylon. This is a fact. The daughter of Babylon. And again, it says her cities with an S will be destroyed. And we know Yasharal did not serve in Mecca. We know Yasharal did not serve in the Vatican. We know this. The people served their captivity scattered all through the earth. And here we, all over the earth, serving captivity in North and South America and all in other, listen, all over the earth we served in captivity. And here we have people only thinking that this captivity was in one place. Matthew 24:31. He shall send his messengers with a great sound of a trumpet. This is how he do things. He do things with his word and with a sound of a trumpet, and they shall gather together his elect. Here's his election being gathered from the four winds, from one end of heaven to the other end of heaven. And I understand, we should understand this gathering. At the very end, there will be some that make it through Jacob's trouble. There will be very few that make it through Jacob's trouble, and these are the ones that will be gathered. But the slaughter is coming. Okay, this is Isaiah 65:22. It says, they shall not build and another inhabit. You see this? They shall not build and another inhabit. They shall not plant and another eat. See, the curse says we will build and another will inhabit. We shall plant and we shall not eat. So what are we seeing here? We see him reversing the curse. The curse is being reversed. And we know when it's reversed, it's going to be taken off of us and put on our enemies. For as the days of a tree, so shall be the days of my people, and my elect shall long enjoy the work of their hands. So we seen the elect being sustained, enjoying long life. When we was cut off, had short life. Here it is, we're enjoying a long life. Isaiah 57:13. When you cry out, no, I want the last part of this. But he who puts his trust in me shall possess the land. This is the part I want. And this is what we need to understand. He that put his trust in him shall possess the land and shall inherit my Kadash mountains. I told you, our minds is not on this land. Our mind is not on this mountain. And we are listening. Our mind's not on this because we're listening to man and we're not listening to Yahuah. Now, this is 2 Ezra 6:9, and we know this scripture. We know one kingdom is about to fall. One kingdom will fall and another will rise. For Esau is the end of the world. We know he's reigning over the world right now. And Jacob it's the beginning of it that follows after. So Jacob, when Esau fall, this is when Jacob, which is his elect, the election, this is when the election will rise. Okay, Joel 2:27. He says, then you shall know that I am in the midst of Yasharal. See, it's up until this point we're going to understand he is in the midst of Yasharal. When this total restoration, when the people rise, when one kingdom fall and another fall, then they're going to know who the chosen one. Then they're going to know who is his election. He says, Ani Yahuah Elohim. He's saying, I am Yahuah, your Elohim, and there is no other. How many times throughout Scripture do we see this? How many times throughout Scripture we see him saying this to us? He says, my people shall never be put to shame. We've been put to shame. Why? Because of not listening to what he's saying and bowing down and serving other mighty ones. We have been put to shame. And when all said and done, when all said and done, when he wrapped this thing up, this is what will happen. Ezra 5:61, they sung with loud voices a song of Yada to Yahuah, because of his favor and his splendor is forever in all Yasharal. So his favor, his splendor, his power, his might at this time will forever be in Yasharal. And all these other elections, these presidential elections, these whatever elections, Senate election, Congress, listen, whatever election there is, they will all fall, every last one. And this election, Yahuwah's election, it shall stand forever. And after this election, there will be no more election after this. This will be the rule. This will be him. This will be the verse that Yahushua spoke. He says, your kingdom come, your will be done in earth as it is in heaven. This is when we will see him reign. And now I want to make mention of something. And I'm going to go into this later on, but I want to quickly make mention of something. People got this thing about fear mongering. I'm going to break down fear mongering, what it entails, what it means, and show you in Scripture how this fear mongering is not connected with the Most High. If someone coming out of Scripture and they coming with something that doesn't sound good, it doesn't sound pleasant, what the prophet spoke to the wicked, it doesn't sound good, it doesn't sound pleasurable. And so to them it becomes a snare. He says, my word is a snare to them that those that do not listen. And this is why they feeling fearmonger. The election, the elected ones, the ones who he has elected, these people are not living in this. We're not worrying about fear mongering. No one can listen. None of us will say this is fear. You're fear mongering me. No, we have his word. We fear no man. We fear Yahuwah. That's it. That is it. So anyone that think that I've been accused of fear mongering because I'm talking about Babylon. Why? Why do I continue to talk about Babylon? The destruction is coming, and it must stay before the people. Noah knew that the deluge was coming, and he kept it before the people 120 years. It says in Enoch, 120 years he proclaimed to them that it was coming. You think them people was tired of hearing that the flood was coming? Yes, they had to hear it for 120 years, and he had to proclaim it 120 years. Here we just have a few years to hear about Babylon's destruction, and we can't stand it. We can't take it. We can't handle it. But when it's smoke clear and it's all settled, you will know who was the chosen one. Those false prophets, they will be put to shame for good. Shalom.